So as you can probably tell by that really loud noise and the big flying object that went past us there, we're currently around Manchester Airport, and the little project that I've set myself today is to see if I can get like landscape, environmental type photography around Manchester Airport and see if I can make the planes part of the like subject and part of the environment. This is kind of inspired by what James Popsis does a lot. He shoots a lot of like human nature, so he goes to like naturistic spots and then try and adds that human element into it. So I feel like this is like quite on the extreme end where I'm trying to like add a plane into the landscape photography. So yeah, I'm just pottering around and I'm just seeing what I can find. And yeah, hopefully in this video we can get some decent shots, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm just having a bit of a wander around now, just trying to get a feel for the area, just trying to get some shots in the bank and just trying to look for some like interesting pockets of nature that I can blend in with the man-made stuff. I did have some shots in mind for this trip, but I've just not been able to achieve them today. One is because they're operating the runway in a different direction to what I wanted, which is unfortunate, but I knew that coming here today, so I didn't come here with that expectation to get that shot today. But the other thing I wanted is I wanted some people to be in the foreground of some of my images. Just because I feel like people are always a good way of getting a sense of scale of an object or a scene or whatever. But it's like completely dead here today. I've seen like 2 people all morning. I think I've got some decent shots anyway, but yeah, I just kind of wanted some people to be here just so I could have some like I said, some sense of scale. But it's typical, isn't it? When you want somewhere to be busy, it's quiet, and when you want it to be quiet, it's busy. So yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, but yeah, I'm just gonna carry on walking around, seeing what I can find, and then I'll pick up with you guys in a little bit. Okay, so we're back in the office now, and I've just been looking through some of the photos that I got on the day, and overall I'm pretty happy with the results. I do wish I could have filmed a little bit more out in the field. I wanted to talk you guys through some of the compositions that I had, but just because of the runway and how it was operating on the day, it was just a little bit slow in between planes taking off, so I had to kind of walk around, scout compositions, and then as I heard the engines fire up, I had to like be ready to take the shot. So it just didn't give me a chance to like set up another camera and talk you through the shots really. I don't know if that's just because it was a Tuesday and it's usually a bit dead on a Tuesday, but I was there from early morning up until about 1 or 2 p.m. And yeah, there was just so many breaks in between planes taking off. One would take off and then there'd be a good 15 to 20 minutes where there would be nothing. So yeah, it was a bit tricky. I had to just react. It was a bit of a different way of shooting for me. You know, usually when I'm out in landscape or I'm doing street photography, I can kind of like see competitions and then wait. But yeah, there was just too much waiting. So I had to kind of just keep walking around, and then as I was walking around, just get shots as and when. But as I was saying, overall, I'm pretty happy with the results that I got. This on the screen behind me is probably my favorite from the day. And even though this is not really environmental photography, it's more like a minimalistic shot. I'm really happy with it. So yeah, there's a few in there that I'm really happy with, but this is my favorite. I will say though, when it comes to like the environmental photography side, I did struggle to have like some of the environment and then the plane to be quite central in the shot. It's usually the environment's kind of like the main focus, and then the plane's like in a small corner of the image. And that's just because of where I was and because of them taking off in that direction. I think if they were landing in the opposite direction, which they sometimes do, I would have more of a chance to have a plane that was a little bit lower down and closer to the landscapes. So I'm not done with this project yet. I think I'm going to go again when they've switched the operation of the runways, because they do tend to operate alternate landing and takeoff patterns. So yeah, I'm probably going to go again when they switch that, because I do think there's a lot of fields that surround the airport, and I think if they're coming into land, they'll be a little bit lower. And yeah, I think I can just get some more landscape, environmental type of shots if they're doing it that way. So yeah, stay tuned. I probably will do another one of these videos at some point again. I did go a couple of years ago now, and they were doing a single runway operation. And the other runway, sorry, I know they've got names, but I just don't know them off the top of my head. I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to aviation. Yeah, when they're on the single runway and they're coming into land, there's a lot of farmland around there. And I do feel like I could make some shots work if they were operating in that way. But correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I don't think they operate single runway until winter time, when the travel's a little bit more quiet. So I might have to wait a while for that to happen. But yeah, just my biggest takeaway was it's pretty tricky to react. And I think the more I go and the more I scout compositions, the more I can be in the right place at the right time. And then just, yeah, trying to get the plane to be more of a central focus is quite tricky when they're taking off. Because obviously the surrounding area around the runway when you're close up is very flat. And if you zoom in more towards the plane, you get shots like this that are more minimal. And when they're on the runway, you just kind of have a lot of stuff in the background. So yeah, they weren't really the shots I was going for on the day. I wanted more nature or landscape to be involved. Yeah, I've learned a lot. I'm not done with this project yet, so stay tuned. I might have another video on this at some point in the next few months. But yeah, let me know which photos are your favorites in the comments below. And also, if you know of any other airports that might suit this photography style, where it's like landscape and aviation in a bit of a blend, do let me know in the comments, because I would be willing to travel to some other airports. I'm just not very well clued up on what airports are good for photography. So yeah, do let me know in the comments. I just feel like with the right location and the right shot, you could end up with some really cool looking landscape photography that's just got a plane in there and you're just kind of like, what the hell? So yeah, that's the kind of like look that I'm going for. So yeah, just let me know in the comments if you've got any suggestions, and I'll catch you in the next one.